Hey, good evening, everyone. How y'all doing? Round of applause for the other performers. You guys are friggin' awesome. It's a lot of pressure here. My name's Brian. I'm from the 80s. Any Gen Xers out there? Anybody Gen X? If you're under the age of 35, you need to thank those people. I'm serious. Gen X didn't get enough credit. We were the guinea pigs of the 20th century. Parenting, my parents were great. I love them to death, but they grew up in the 50s. Their music was 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock rock. It's not going to inspire too many parties. And they were parenting me. And then Sony came along and invented the Walkman, right? I don't think you guys realize how damaging the Walkman was. My parents are listening to 3 o'clock rock. I'm listening to Twisted Sister. We're not gonna take it. And I started recognizing lies. I started recognizing they really had no clue about the drug revolution. They were kind of just guessing. And Nancy Reagan just said no, right? Just say no to what? No to Tylenol? Power's a drug. Should I say no to power? The scent of a woman? That's a drug. So I just said yes. And I decided it was going to be my mission to get to the bottom of these drugs. And I did it for the people. You're welcome. So I dove into this drug world. I started with cigarettes. All my heroes smoked cigarettes. Joe Cool, the Marlboro Man. Andrew Dice Clay did a whole bit about jogging 5 miles and smoking. So I felt, all right, maybe it's healthy. So I took a carton of cigarettes to Christian camp when I was 13. The fat kids had the candy. I had the Marlboros. Next, I investigated alcohol. When I was 12, I went to a wedding. My dad said I could have some sips. He didn't stipulate how many sips, so I had about 300 sips. And all of a sudden, all of my sister's friends, the 16-year-old girls with boobs, hanging out with me. Not hanging out with my sister who wasn't drinking. She followed the rules. I got the attention. Next, LSD. My friend's dog turned into a monkey. It was amazing. So I'm starting to recognize I don't think all these drugs are bad. And I realized there's no such thing as a good drug or a bad drug. Right? Drugs are drugs. There's good people. There's bad people. But the drug is just a drug. And nothing proved that more to me than marijuana. My parents told me marijuana was just as bad as heroin. Just as bad as crack. It was a Schedule 1. No medicinal value whatsoever. Then I tried it. I gotta be honest, marijuana's not that bad. This kid moved down to Fort Lauderdale from Vermont. He was a snowboarder, freaking super cool. Picked me up, driving to school, and he's smoking a joint. He's like, yo, man, you want to smoke this? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? No way. And this kid had the absolute best day. He was eating candy, sleeping through all the classes, nobody bothered him. So I started to say, maybe the other drugs aren't so bad. So I tried crack. Turns out they were right about the crack. I dove into crack intentionally. It was an exploration. Everything had been discovered by the time 1988 rolled around. Sir Edmund Hillary climbed Everest. Ponce de Leon found St. Augustine. So I dove into the crack hole to see how far down it went. And my goal was to teach people how to get out. Because it's a long climb and you can do it. Anybody out here love an addict? Anybody, huh? Right? I'm going to tell you something about these people. They're the strongest people on the planet. They're the best people if they can get away from their kryptonite. We got a lot of celebrities in the crack world. Right? Some big time. Whitney Houston. She didn't make it. Bobby, though. Bobby made it. Bobby's doing his prerogative. Got Robert Downey Jr. Made it. Richard Pryor. Burned his hair, not so much. But the point is, we got a lot of celebrities that smoked crack and came out. Did you guys know Oprah Winfrey smoked crack? That's why she's so rich. Because when you're an addict, the lower you go, the higher you can fly. Water finds level ground. So anybody in the struggle, I want you to know, you can get out. You can find a life, and there is a path. It's just simple steps. Just got little stuff to do, Just need to change everything. But it's easy if you just take one step in front of the other. So on a serious note, the drug problem it affects everybody. There's nobody that has somebody that they don't love. So whether you're California sober and just drinking wine and weed, or Colorado sober, or Vancouver sober, just meth, there is a way out. And appreciate everybody being here tonight. My name's Brian, and I love you guys.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, we've got